graders, Miss Diorio here from Citizenship Academy, and we are moving on to Module 7, Lesson 14 today. Today what we're talking about is different units of measurement. You guys are really comfortable with the centimeter. A lot of times we use our pinky when we don't have centimeter cubes. Today we're going to compare that to a measurement called an inch. If you have a ruler at home, I would love you to grab a ruler. I have one right here. If not, another thing we can always use is our pinkies and our fingers. And I'll tell you more about how to measure with an inch as we move forward. All right, let's start with our application problem. Frances is moving the furniture in her bedroom. She wants to move the bookcase to a space between her bed and the wall, but she's not sure if it'll fit. What could Frances use as a measurement tool if she doesn't have a ruler? And how could she use it? So what I would love for you to do is pause the video and talk to someone at home about ideas you might have about what she could use and how she could use it. If you don't have someone at home, pause the video, talk to me. What are you thinking? What could she use as a measurement tool if she doesn't have a ruler or a tape measure, and how would she use it? Good. So whatever ideas you came up with, this is what I was thinking. And whatever ideas you came up with are perfect. What I was thinking is a book, since she's measuring a bookcase. So if she has a book as a measuring tool, how could she use that as a measuring tool? What do you think? Talk to someone at home about how you think she could use a book as a measuring tool. Good. So she could put the book down at the beginning of the bookcase and mark where it ends and then pick the book up. I have a book here. I have a dad jokes book. My dad loves jokes. So she could start at the beginning of her bookcase, mark where it ends, whoop, and then move it over, mark where it ends, move it over, and count how many books it is. Then she could measure the space and see how many books and compare. So make sure she measures the whole length of the bookcase and the whole length of the space, and moving the books along to make sure that she has the right amount of space. Should she use a book like this and a book like this to measure? Why not? Very good. She will not get an accurate measurement if she uses two different books. So the best way to do it is use one book and mark and move along. So this might help solve her problem. If the bookcase is 5 books long and the space between the wall and the bed is 4 books long, is she going to be able to fit that bookcase in that space? No, she's not, right? But if she measures the bookcase and it's shorter than the length of the space, then she knows it'll fit. So the most important thing to know is that we don't always have to use a ruler. We can use what we have as long as we're using the same item and marking our place and moving it along. Does the size of the book matter? I went over that. Can I use this and this to measure? Why not? They have to be the same size. Otherwise, she will not get an accurate measurement, and she won't be able to tell if she can fit that bookcase in the space. Whatever tool you use to measure, you have to use the same size of everything to make sure it fits. Good job. All right, what is this? Good, this is a centimeter cube. We use it to measure things. Sometimes we use more than one cube, and sometimes we use just one, and we mark, and we move, and we mark, and we move, and we mark, and we move. We can also use it to make a ruler. We did that a little bit at the beginning of the year where we had a sheet of paper, and a lot of us used our pinky, and we made a ruler that way. Pretty cool. Today we're going to look at a different unit of measurement. This is 1 inch. The space from here to here is 1 inch. All right, can you say inch? Good. That is 1 centimeter. That's what we've been working with. That's the size of our pinky. That's the size of the centimeter cubes. How do they compare? Talk to me about how they're similar or how they're different. Very good. An inch is a lot larger unit of measurement. You can see that the inch is longer than the centimeter, so it's a bigger unit of measurement. how many inches long is this line? Don't forget to tell me the units in your answer. Very good. It's 4 inches long. But as you can see, this line kind of goes a little bit longer than that 4-inch mark, right? Oops, sorry. If it's closer to the 4-inch mark, we're going to say it's about 4-inch tiles long. If it was closer to this mark, we would say that it's about 5-inch tiles long. So sometimes when it's not accurate, we can just use the word about to give us an average, to give us an estimate of how long an item is. Now, this happens a lot with when we're measuring in inches, because inches are a much larger unit of measurement. Here, let me make my screen bigger. If you look on your ruler, we've been measuring with centimeters. You can see the cm for centimeters. The centimeters are a lot closer together, so that gives you a more accurate measurement. But when we measure with the inches, we have, and you can see it says inch, it's bigger. So when we are like not quite at the inch, we can say about 1 inch. Or when we're not quite at the 2 inches, we can say about 2 inches. Why do you think sometimes we are going to measure in inches versus centimeters? What do you think? Yeah, very good. It's a lot easier to measure bigger objects with inches, because if we have to measure a big book or big box with centimeters, it's going to take a lot of centimeters. But if we're measuring it with inches, we don't quite need as many. So for today, on your own, you're going to be measuring objects in inches. If you have a ruler, you're going to use the inch side of your ruler to measure. If you don't have a ruler, just like we talked about, your pinky is about the size of a centimeter. If you look at your index finger, your pointer finger there, your inch is about as big as the top of your finger to your first knuckle. So that's about the size of an inch. So you can use that space to measure inches if you don't have a ruler at home. So you're going to go around today and you're going to measure different objects. While you're measuring, I want you to think about precision. Precision is how accurate and how close we are to the next number. With inches, it might be a little bit different, like we talked about. I also want you to think about why larger units might be more helpful. And we already talked about this, but how might they be less precise? And then I want you to think about when smaller units will be helpful. And then I want you to go through and figure out which items that you might have measured, then it might be a better idea to measure with smaller cubes. All right. So today, you're going to practice measuring with the inch, not the centimeter. You're going to practice measuring with the inch and practice giving measurements even if they're not as precise. All right. Have fun.